Hello everybody, my name is Jared,
And this is Brandon.
and today we're coming at you guys with a very special review, an item I didn't find out about but maybe 2 or 3 days ago before I bought it. And here we have the brand new 52 Justice League 7-pack from Target, exclusively at Target.
Available only at Target. Now, if you've been collecting DC toys for the past 4 or 5 years, you will no doubt recognize these molds as being incredibly similar to the Brave and the Bold animated tie-in toys that they did from about 2009 until 2012. Early 2012, I think, is when they finally ended. And if you were a fan of that line, you will also no doubt know that there were several major DC Comics characters that never got action figures. Some of them were even tooled, like the Flash in this set was originally tooled. And I think limited quantities of that figure were released for Brave and the Bold. But Hal Jordan was featured in several episodes. He never got a figure. Wonder Woman was featured a couple times, never got a figure. There are new versions of Superman, Batman, and Aquaman. They had gotten figures in Brave and the Bold, but these are new designs. And I don't think Cyborg was ever in Brave and the Bold at all. So
no, I don't think he ever.
It's really cool to get a figure in that style now too. Just like with Justice League Unlimited, they did so many characters that never appeared in the actual animated series. So lo and behold, about a month ago, I think we were searching eBay and we found a listing for this new 52 version of the Flash, and it was clearly a retooled version of the Brave and the Bold action figure that had been solicited and never really got released. We say retooled because, again, if you're familiar with the Brave and the Bold action figures, you'll know that they all have these action feature sockets. They have several. Each figure has 9, including 2 on the bottom of their feet. And a lot of people hated these. I didn't mind so much. There were occasionally very cool accessories to use with them, but it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But these new Justice League series figures do not have any of those sockets. So like I said, we were looking on eBay and we found the Flash, and Jared had speculated, sort of out of the blue, like with no other information to go on. He said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if, as a retailer exclusive, Mattel did a new 52 Justice League box set, a 7-pack, in the style of Brave and the Bold. He said that would be a great way to keep that line alive or to bring it back. And, what do you know? Just a few weeks later, it happens. He literally willed it to be.
Sometimes I go spelunking on a lot of the major retail websites, and I always just put in, say, Batman or DC, just to see what I can get, because so much of the stuff, especially the mass retail kind of items, not the collector's items, are not very heavily covered by a lot of the major toy sites. So I'll just search for something, and I got on Target, and I'd lately have been having great success at Target.com, just searching for words, and lo and behold, to see the image of this Justice League set on there, when I had just a couple weeks before, had been talking about how I bet that's what the Flash is. I bet that's what he's going to be. Just call me crazy, I have a feeling. It was sort of strange. So I felt like we had to get you this video review immediately. And I believe that we will be the first review on the net for this particular item. So this is really special for us. We've only did that with a few other items before. So, this is a big deal for us.
As of right now, the Justice League line consists of 6 items. There's the 7-pack that includes the 7 basic members of the new 52 Justice League. And there are 5 single-carded figures. There are single-carded versions of Batman, Superman, the Flash, and Green Lantern from the set, which, as far as we can tell so far, are identical to the figures in the 7-pack. And then also on the packaging for the single-carded figures, there's Lex Luthor, and nobody's been able to find him yet. We all assume that he's part of a later wave, or a second case that's going to be released.
This line in particular, it sort of recalls the Target-exclusive Justice League Unlimited line. It's sort of a way for the Justice League line to keep going, even before Matty Collector was a solution. It was Target were the ones that had signed up for it. And so now, much like Justice League, Brave and the Bold gets sort of a second lease on life. Now, it's important to note that these figures are not branded as Brave and the Bold product.
Yeah.
But it's also important to note that the last 2 or 3 waves of Brave and the Bold product were never branded as Brave and the Bold either.
Yeah, they were just Batman.
Well, they were just Batman, and then there was Total Armor, and there was Stealth Strike.
Yeah.
Stealth Strike. So these figures are not branded that way. They are just branded as Justice League figures. However, it is important to note that in about every case, these are straight New 52 versions. Some of them could easily pass for the classic version. What do you say we have a look at the packaging, which I'm really fond of? Guys, so let's have a closer look at that great packaging. Now, you'll notice instantly that as we look at the front of the packaging, that it's not exactly a complicated sort of look or a busy look. Instead, it's relatively simple. All of the figures are packed in on 2 different levels, which I really like, and there's a lot of empty space in the box. Now, this could be construed as sort of a negative aspect, and I can definitely see that, but then again, usually it is the retailers that actually determine the size of the package, and not Mattel, to fill up so many blocks of shelf space. Of course, when looking at it, the figures all look great, and the best part is, folks, we have already opened this. This is actually how it looks when you replace the figures back in. This is completely collector-friendly packaging. But before we get into that, let's look a little bit of the art. As you can see, we have a really nice, brand new image, from what I know of anyway, of the 4 key male members of the Justice League. And they look really great. There's sort of a classic look to the artwork, which I really like. And of course, they're in their new 52 costumes. Now, the logo is very much classic Justice League, and there is no mention of a new 52 or reboot or anything like that, so that's good. Now, on the side, we can see that it still keeps sort of a plain sort of motif, just Justice League and some red. And then if we switch it around to the other side, we have a closer look at that nice artwork that I like so much. So not bad. Also on the front, this is just a sticker. The Target exclusive label was, I'm sure, just an afterthought to see which retailer would actually pick this up. And on the bottom, there's not much going on. But on the back, we do have a nice version, a nice photo of the rest of the figures. Now, there's something interesting to note. The figures on the back here, and also on the promotional photos on Target.com's website, are in a metallic color scheme. Now, I really like how this looks on, say, Cyborg, but for the other figures, I would probably rather have them in this flat color scheme, personally. It sort of makes them a little more compatible with your other Brave and the Bold figures, but we'll get into that later. Okay, now, as I said before, completely collector friendly. Now, check this out. All we had to do was cut a strip of tape here and one on the bottom, and this panel just pops right out, and we cut a couple more strips of tape, and this panel pops up. Once you have it open, all you gotta do is grab the internal shell, and with one pull, your figures are out. Now the great thing is, if you wanted to display it sans box, you actually could, and it would look okay like this. You sort of get a mini diorama for your figures to go on. The background seems to be reminiscent of more of a watchtower sort of look. Now, it's very easy to remove the figures. There were some of the clear rubbery twisty ties, and all you got to do, of course, is just slash one, and only one holds on each figure, so you won't be slashing multiple ties. There are the annoying little plastic pegs that keep the capes in. On the back, all you have to do is trim those off, and you're good to go. So, as you can see, very simple to take the figures out. Not bad at all.
Alright guys, the time has come just to click on the figure review that you would like to see. Will it be Green Lantern, Cyborg, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman, or The Flash? So choose wisely. Or don't. Either one. We're just kind of sitting here waiting. We don't really care which one you pick. Please, we're getting very tired. Please, please. Could you just pick one? We're pitiful. Just click anything.